What's up, everyone? It is Monday night, 6 p.m. West Coast, 9 p.m. East Coast. You already know what it is. It's the trades. We're just gathering people up. We're going to have a good show. We're going to start in about 3 minutes. Let people know what's up. It's the trades. And if you're watching, let me know where you're from. We're going to have a great show. And we're live on Instagram as well. So if you want to join the chat, because on Instagram you can't comment, but on YouTube you can. If you want to join the convo, go to my bio, click the link to the YouTube channel, go in the chat and talk yo ish. What up, J Prime? New Jersey in the house. I need to make you admin. I gotta figure that out, Jay. Yo, Lowell, Massachusetts in the house. East Coast in the house. If you're watching live from YouTube, B-Boy Crumbs' YouTube and the Pro for One channel. And on Instagram. Can you believe it? Technology is great. We're going to start the show in 2 minutes, 2 minutes. We got Lowell in the house. Obviously, Alex, where are you from? Lowell, Massachusetts, Jersey. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out this technology, Jay. Oh man-ish. Gonna start the show in 2 minutes, 2 minutes. The trades. We have a humdinger of a show today, guys. Giving a shout out to the chat. There is 9 of you. Tell a friend. The trades is on. All right. And we're starting the countdown. Let us know where you're from. In 30 seconds.
This video has been brought to you by Break Connect. Go to the website and register. Check out what they have to offer at breakconnect.com.
Yo, what's up? This is Shadow Rock and Pro 41 of the Floor Gangs and Knuckleneck Tribe, and you're watching The Trades, show about breaking, hip hop, and the business of how's everyone doing. It's been a while since I've been on YouTube, had a lot of stuff going on, and I'll be honest, there's going to be a lot more stuff going on. I don't know how I'm going to be doing the show once a week. I might have to do it once every 2 weeks. I just got back 2 weeks ago, 2 weekends ago. I just got back from New Jersey. Shout out to the AER B-Boy B-Girl podcast. They got me out there for the Jersey Fresh Jam. I judged and I did a workshop at Princeton University. That was really dope. Shout out to everyone that took it. Shout out to everyone that went to the jam. Shout out to the guys that won the jam. Yo, forgive me if I forget your guys' names. The crew from Philly. Yo, you guys killed it. You guys got to experience I got to experience kind of that area from Philly to Jersey, and not just that, you guys taking the workshop and getting a little taste of how I train and the philosophy of how I break. Thank you so much again. Shout out to my man J Prime right here. He calls me Lolo. He is gonna be. I have to figure out how to make him the moderator, but he is my new moderator right now. I'm on some old man ish. Like I don't know how this works, and I was like trying to. Like I was on Instagram earlier trying to promote the show, and I was supposed to have him. I was supposed to make him a moderator, and I just didn't get around to it. So I'm kind of like, how do you do this? So, but he's gonna be helping me out. Shout out to J Prime, Retro Flow, Jersey, Philly represent. So yeah, that was really dope. Um, yo, there's so much to talk about. Because I went on Instagram and right after the Olympics, I talked about that. You know what I mean? I talked about before the Olympics and after on Instagram. I haven't been on YouTube to talk about stuff and current events. And there's so many things going on. But before we get started, we have to clean house before we get started. So first of all, I just got to say, 89% of you are watching the content. And you guys got me to 2030, which is dope. Thank you so much. But I know you guys are lurking. You guys aren't really subscribed. If you subscribe, you can help the channel out. That way I could like maybe pay Jay for basically helping me out because there's gonna be a lot of things that's gonna happen in the channel. So, and I'll be honest, the most I made out of this channel is $10 because like shout out to the two super thanks from Indo G, DJ Indo G, and one from AER broadcast, B-Boy Bugo podcast. They basically helped me out. So that's another feature. You can help out by not giving a super chat or a super thanks, but just subscribing. Because when you like a video and you subscribe, you help the algorithm. You help get us to the algorithm to help monetize even more. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually making more from Instagram, which is nothing. But YouTube pays the most, but it's the hardest to gather audience. You know what I'm saying? Especially for dancers. You guys like 15 seconds because because the ADHD, right? From B-Boys and B-Girls. Anyway, so please hit the subscribe button, the bell for notifications if you want to see more content like this, and a like to help this video. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, next is, of course, Zen World. Zen World has helped get this production going. ZenWorld.com, and there's Zen World CBD. It is from the cannabis plant, but it doesn't give you the head high or basically you don't get high, you get stoned. But there is part of the cannabis plant called CBD, and that's the thing that helps heal and repair. And the thing about Zen World is they make products such as Zen World Nano Drops. You put this in your coffee, your sports drink, or water. You drink it up. And CBD, what it helps is with inflammation. And for a guy like me who's 49, that doesn't regenerate as fast. So you guys, I need this help. And if you don't want to ingest it, right? Yeah, the CBD roll on freeze, CBD freeze. This works like an icy hot. An icy hot massages, but it doesn't, help repair inflammation. The CBD ingredient does. It does help you with the inflammation and massages your muscles. So you can get this all at zenroll.com and use the promo code GEARHEADS, GEARHEADZ. Get 10% off. Why not save money while you rest, recuperate, and repair? The three R's, you know what I'm saying? All right. And then one more thing, pinned to the top of the chat is Supreme Geometry Gear. Finally, I came out with a brand, and you can only find it on Printify. We don't have the beanies no more, but we do have the shirts and the hoodies. You can help support the channel, not by just giving a super chat or a super thanks. You can actually buy some gear so you can leave, you can leave not just, supporting me by like, just giving me money just randomly. No, you get to, have some gear for yourself. So again, Supreme Geometry Pro for One Shop on Printify. Yes, sir. Okay, now that being said, got all that all the way. All right, so here's the thing, man. I've been knowing this guy forever. We've battled many times. And he could tell you like, like he's from that era when breaking started to really get its language. Like he was there to help develop the language and create some of the language. When we're talking about language, we're talking about styles, we're talking about moves, we're talking about like he has helped influence a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And now, we used to battle each other a lot, but now we like, now as we get older, you kind of like, the respect happens after you've earned that, like those battle scars, and it's like we've been through it, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he's part of the 40 and up club. Sorry to put you on blast, bro, but I'm just saying. Without further ado, represent Style Elements. We got my man B Boy Crumbs. What up, Crumbs? How you doing, bro?
Profo. Yeah, man. We got them war stories, dog.
War stories.
Yeah. We
War
listen
stories.
to this.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah.
yo, man, like yeah. So I know that we're having the show on your channel too. Thank you so much, and we're on Instagram as well. Yo, shout out to Friction. He got me on this software called Restream where you could actually do multi broadcasts at the same time. So giving a shout out to Friction from West Coast Rockers, man. This is pretty dope. And then the fact that you could like, you could actually air it as well. Cause like you're not this is your first kind of live, huh?
This is my first time
That's
doing
dope.
that for my first YouTube live ever. So I mean, I've done interviews and stuff
Yeah,
before,
yeah, yeah,
connecting
yeah.
it to mine and stuff. So we just got to learn and grow as we go.
There you go. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's it. That's it.
Like this,
Yep.
like that whole Northern California Bay Area thing is being independent, and that was like that's I've been on like yo, let's not rely. That's just me. I've always been like let's not rely on these people or that people. It's good. It's more. I always looked at it like just like E40 or Too Short. Like yo, they had something, and then when the labels came, they were able to negotiate because they already had a following. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like YouTube, social media, and YouTube gives us versus just like okay, we gotta rely on this brand or these companies. Yet you have worked for these brands and companies, but we could get into that a little bit later.
And
This
I
is
put
something yeah, go ahead.
they're all going to be there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And whenever they choose to work with you or not, that's on them. So
Right,
it's
right.
very important. Everybody listen up. If you're in the game, a practitioner, it's very important to focus on yourself, your brand, your show,
Mm-hmm.
your content, your
Mm-hmm.
breaking, and build that. Always put it number one because
Yeah, yeah.
all of that can come and go.
100.
Snap of a finger,
That's
bro.
that's real. I think that's the thing that we never learned. I think because one, it was a developing industry, and it was just about winning best of the best, winning Radiotron, winning freestyle session. But what do you do after? It's just like after that, it's like, win again? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, just keep winning, man. We're focused on being champions, man.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
and our time was obviously before all the internet and all this stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
this is all, it's all shaping form
Mm-hmm.
today.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the practitioners, the younger practitioners, they're it's new. It's like they have it at their birth. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right.
They
Yeah,
did before
yeah.
this. So we're adapting. They're just growing into it. Like they don't understand how it was before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit different.
Right.
But yeah, as long as we just keep supporting each other and keep building, pushing forward, and grassroots, man, support the grassroots.
There you
That's what
go.
it's about, man.
So yeah, so I never really. I think maybe I've interviewed you like live on Facebook, like at one of the Style Elements anniversaries. But so you're kind of like the youngest out of everyone in Style Elements too, right? Like pretty much
From the,
everyone's a little.
from the originals, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, from the
yeah,
originals. Like
yeah,
you're the youngest, right? Because like
yeah.
Ramon's like yeah, he's a '77 kid, right? So and
Mhm. I'm 79.
you're 79, so right about to 80. So I mean that's what I'm saying. That alone puts you in a different like mind frame than like let's say Poe, who was like already at the time like maybe 20 something, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you're 19. So how? Because like a lot of people, and that's why I'm curious. Because like for instance, when I came up when I was 16, Wicked was 13, so he was considered the little kid back then. Do you know what I'm saying? And then by the time you guys met up with him, you guys are all about similar age, but you were younger. How did you get exposed to the breaking, like or housing or whatever it was you guys are doing in the Central Valley?
Okay, so I try to make a long story short.
Right.
I was raised in Panama, and
Okay.
in Panama, we didn't get certain movies. Like
Right.
they just didn't come,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
I was in Panama from 79 to 89. 89 is when I moved
Okay.
to
10 years. Okay.
California. Yeah, 10 years.
Right.
So I never saw Beat Street, never saw Brooklyn,
Okay.
I never saw any breaking. All I saw was
Okay.
skaters in
Right.
Panama. Yeah,
Right.
I didn't see and nobody was breaking, right?
Yeah.
So I first saw breaking in my junior high in Modesto. Some kids breaking. I was like, damn, that's just crazy. But it wasn't breaking yet. It was like we used to call it housing. You know, the
Right.
shitted pants at the bottom flare,
Yep.
and maybe the Doc Martens. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
and even the fucking the Guess button up shirts, like one strap overalls.
Right. Yeah.
Style back then, right? With the
Yep.
shaved head with the long bangs, flip
Yep. Oh yeah, I had that.
tail, and all
Yeah.
that shit, you know.
The rebel
Um,
look, I think they call it the
that's what
rebel look.
that's what the fuck was going on back then in Cali, right? In Northern
Right.
Cali.
Right.
So it was like house dancing mixed with some breaking moves. And when I say
Right.
breaking moves, I'm not even talking about footwork. I'm talking about
Right.
like a one-arm handstand stall, you know,
Mm-hmm.
some new jack kicks, right?
Right.
Some
Yeah.
fucking old kicks and all that stuff. The back hops,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
breaks,
Yep.
you know, some dope shit, but not really breaking yet, right?
Right. Yeah.
So that's where I first saw it in junior high, and I was like, I was already like, I did so many different athletic things, and I would move from one thing to the next, and that
Mm-hmm.
was the next thing that I saw, and I was like, yeah, man, I gotta fuck with that, and just never left, man, just because there's no ceiling, right? So I
Right.
just
Yeah.
kept me going, but
So
yeah,
what year was that? What year was that for you?
93.
Oh, okay, it was 93. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then beside was like these kids, so you said junior high? That's when you
Mm-hmm.
saw it?
Yep.
Um were these kids like in a crew? Was there a crew like, that like was it a crew that had a name that you could shout out, or was it just random kids?
Oh, it was just individuals, man. Not
Okay.
even just couple few dancers. There wasn't even a lot. I remember there was this cat. His name was Chris, and he had a sister named Misty, and she would get down with us, and we'd just train at school, practice at school, and there was like maybe 3 or 4 of us. Like it wasn't even like a lot of people, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and that carried on into high school, and then more individuals started coming, and that's when the crew started forming and all that stuff.
Right.
But
Yeah.
the first cruise I was involved was with my boy Lloyd Gomez and Steven Montalvo, um, and we were a house and breaking mix crew, and we went by Family Mix Fits, and this is before Style Elements,
Right.
uh, but
Yeah,
they were,
this is we're watching a clip of Knuckle Neck Tribe, so that's kind of like what
yeah,
it kind of was, like
that's the
kind of
flavor.
like, yeah, like breaking but not really breaking. Like if you
Yep,
see like Eugene in the background, he's doing more like those hip hop dance moves, right? Like it's a mix, right? Like
the
the way
tops
he's coming.
the tops were
Yeah,
different. You know, the floor work was different, but the elements of breaking were in there.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just for everyone to kind of get a reference of what we're talking about. This was happening.
You see the style difference right here.
Yeah. There's breaking, but you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man,
So yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, I just wanted to give the audience a little reference to Northern California.
Yes.
So like you guys went from that, right? You guys in junior high went from that, and that's 93. Then that's like, so that it's funny because that time it was still housing, but I would say 93 is when it started to be like the return of like the B-boy. Like it was
Yeah.
like then it became like, like the first crew back from the 80s was Rock Force, and then it was Renegades, and they were dressing like shell-toe Adidas suit, like fully on, like not the Hauser shit. They were
Yeah.
doing like the whole like we're old school, like you know what I mean, we're old school, but then they were doing like Flare 90 Flare. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
And then
saying? Like,
you had Jughead Tribe, you had
yep,
Air Force Crew. That's
yep,
when the world wars were happening in
yep,
the area, and they
yep.
Orko and Little Caesar and them would
Mm-hmm.
and just fucking murder it.
Yeah, basically.
And so then that's when we're like, oh, okay, now we got to start adding these elements to what we're already doing. And that's when it started to become more breaking, I feel.
Yeah. So what made, I mean, obviously, like I talked to Remind before, and he was like, well, I was just trying to do like what y'all were doing, but more advanced breaking. Do you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Was that kind of your thing too, or you were just like, how did you start thinking of something from? Because like I said, like even if you watch the second generation Rock Force or your Wick and J, they were just more into like flare 90, fast
Yeah.
windmills, halos, and a
Mhm.
little bit of footwork here and there. You know what I'm saying? And even with floor rockers, like they were messing with them being a branch of sidewalk and then them doing footwork. what made you guys think differently? Because that's one thing that definitely like you guys pushed, right?
Yeah.
Was like that originality and break, like switch the angle of breaking. You know what I'm saying?
hmm In Northern Cali, just like you said, Frisco had their thing going on, Renegades, and Rock Force, and San Jose had floor rockers and more of a, I would say more of a footwork b-boy style, a little bit more traditional, but abstract as well.
Hmm.
They had
Yeah.
that in too. What we were doing in the Central Valley was just a little bit more weird, I would say. At first, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
abstract.
Uh-huh.
Um, so the Valley was just like that, man.
Yeah.
209 just like that. Our jams had like all different styles of dancers all in one cipher. It wasn't just a b-boy, b-girl cipher.
Okay.
It was like all flavors, and the DJ played all different types of music: house, techno, hip hop,
Right. Right.
break beats,
Right.
R&B, right?
Right. Yeah.
And we danced to everything. So by mixing with all these other dancers, we would take little things from each person or each type of music and use it in a b-boy fashion or construct it in a b-boy fashion, change things, flip them. And the music helped a lot with that too, because
Mm.
dancing to different music, different tempos, different styles, to lyrics, to drums, to whatever the fuck they're playing, right? High
Right.
energy, you're going faster, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All of that helped create this SEC style that you see today, you know. And we just started traveling into the
Sorry.
Bay. Yeah,
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
we
Go ahead.
started traveling to the Bay a lot and just going to events out there, a lot of raves, at,
Mm.
Home Depot in Oakland.
Oh shoot! He said Home Depot. He said he
Oh,
done said
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
They used to have the Scratch Pickles performing. Like we'd be there all night ciphering,
Right.
right?
Right.
And where we test our skills and hone our craft and just get the reactions from outside of the 209, right? To see how
Hmm.
people react to it, and people were
Right.
just bugging the fuck out. Like who the hell
Yeah.
are these kids, you know?
Right.
But yeah, it all comes from our local jams, all the people that were in those ciphers and us just thinking differently. And we just had a blueprint all together, the original Style Elements cats. We just really talked and formed what we're thinking and how we want to present ourselves and how we don't want to look like one another. How when we do a crew battle, Crumbs is Crumb, Mine is Mine, Poe's Poe, Ivan's Ivan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
why would I try to do power moves like Super Dave?
Right.
Like
Right.
he's
Right.
got
Oh,
that
okay. Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
on lock, dude.
Right. Right.
I'm
Right. Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
do the exact opposite. He's got that
Yeah.
shit covered. You
Right.
know, why am I gonna try to be a Rubik's cube like Ramine? You know, that's
Hmm.
his fucking shit. Like me, I knew what I started with. Like my what made me stand out was by stacking my
Right.
fucking, on beat and everything, hopping on one hand, like, but not just like corny, like really to any music. It was done musically, which later got lost by the masses, I feel.
Right.
And
Right.
they made it look, that's not like how I created it to look. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So, and then I started,
Who are the guys that were stacking before you? Was there anyone stacking like simpler? Like no,
no.
no, not like that. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
like freeze
I
to
mean,
freeze.
people were switching freezes.
Okay, like Mr. Freeze, right? Like to
Yeah.
me, he was like kind of like the first guy, like right, like
Right. But it was
yeah,
one level, right?
yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
right,
different than stacking. Like
right,
I think Rockstrike calls it freeze framing.
right,
That's
right, right,
two freezes, right?
right, right, right.
Taking pictures. Stacking is stacking up and up and down without your feet touching the floor and mixing it with power moves and whatever you
Right.
want, really.
How did you come? How did you come up with that?
I just loved being upside down, you know. I would
Mhm.
just
Was that from the inline skating and stuff like that?
Yeah, no,
Was that?
I never did inline skating.
Oh,
I
yeah,
I used to I used to I used to dance on roller skates like
okay, well, okay, roller skates.
89. Yeah,
Right,
before
right.
inline skates were invented.
Got
You
it. Okay, so these are straight up roller skates.
put on a pair of inline skates before, you know. I
Oh
don't even
shit,
like
crazy.
yeah. So back in the day, that's what we used to do, man. That's what was fun. Like a lot of cats, we used to go to the roller rink and fucking jam, dude. Like that's how
Yeah.
I learned how to dance, you
Okay.
know.
Right, right,
And
right.
funky, it's called a style called Rexing that's actually been coming back now.
Really?
A lot of people
Okay.
do, you know. Um, and a lot of breakers are starting to do it again too, right? I see K Mel doing
Yeah,
Rexos.
yeah. Actually, I do see him with the
Yeah.
with the
See,
skates and stuff like
I
that.
was doing that shit in '89,
Holy crap!
and I was
Word.
competing. I was competing with that shit too, and just like breaking, I would travel around and yeah. Anyways, that's how I kind of first got into dancing and learned how to dance. And the good part about it was those skates are so damn heavy. I would do
Right.
tricks on the skates, flips
Yeah.
and handstands and freezes
Right.
and stuff.
Right. Right. Right.
I took those motherfuckers off and started breaking.
Oh yeah. That's
You know,
no problem. Yeah.
like all right, let's fucking go.
Easy.
Yeah,
Easy work. Easy work.
but yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy. So then, what was because like yeah, so you started because like there was a time what people don't know was like I was from that like 91 to 93 era, and at that point I'm 18, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to upper room, like I'm over this
yep,
little kid shit, go little kid shit, whatever, right? So then when the best of the best started happening, that's what I'm saying. That's when Wick and Jay and all the like everyone started going to Hank Lopez and stuff like that. Was like so what like before that, were you going to the best of the best at that time, or were you just going to Hank Lopez, or like, or just like what was your transition going to the Bay and just besides the raves, like
mhm.
what were you guys doing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on, Hank Lopez, that was the spot, right?
Yeah.
All the best of the best. We threw jams there ourselves.
The
B-Boy
word.
Mayhem, like we threw different events. In Frisco, the Upper Room.
Yep.
Also in Oakland,
Yep.
we had an
Yeah.
Upper Room in Oakland. That's where we
Yeah.
Housing Authority in
Yep.
'97.
Yeah.
That was the Upper Room.
Right.
And yeah, the one in Frisco on top of the Burger King.
Yep.
Remember that
Yep.
spot?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to hit that up sometimes
Yeah.
too. And yeah, those were the main spots in San Jose. The Cactus Club.
Okay. Word.
One break
Yeah.
and the Junction something.
Yeah. J Rock
It
said it.
was a big club. Yeah.
Yeah.
Junction. We used to always go there too, and that was a big club. All kinds of house dancers, breakers, poppers, everything.
Right.
So we were in the Bay every weekend, man.
Yeah.
90s.
So was that so? For me, I think I was at Summit 3.
Hollywood Junction. That's what it was.
There you go. That's it. Hollywood Junction. There you go.
Mm.
So it's funny because I was actually at that B-Boy Summit, but I wasn't breaking yet. I was just like kind of freestyle dancing still, kind of in and out martial arts. Huh?
Which one? What year?
96. I was there.
Okay.
But I went with DJ Shortcut. I was just chilling with the pickles. So, but I just remember like that big old cipher.
You remember it going down.
Yeah, I remember Flo, and Flo, Kenny, and then I that's the first time I think I met Po One. I think Aiko introduced me to Po One. I think at that thing at Summit 96, Summit 3, and it was kind of like that. I felt like that was like the mark you guys first, like the big mark y'all made was like battling Rocksteady, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We had already I think we already did Radiotron at that point. Maybe it was after. I don't know.
I think it was after. I believe it was after.
Yeah,
I believe it was
right.
after.
So yeah, I guess the first big global statement. Yeah.
Right.
But in Cali, we were already wrecking.
Yeah. But it was just about like, oh, here goes. It's like it's Rocksteady. You know what I'm saying? Like
that was a big deal. And time because fucking you already know like Rocksteady in the mid '90s.
Oh yeah.
Sir Kenny. Friggles, fucking like bro. We're just like the kind of untouchable, man.
Right.
Like, nobody would even step to them.
Yeah, that's crazy, and that's the first time I really saw you guys. I think like even though maybe you guys been around, I know Remind was like I was at World War whatever. I was like really,
yeah.
But like that was like kind of like, and that's when it was like, you started having like the regular like even though that wasn't a competition, like right after that, like I said, it's like Radiotron, which was like the competition at the time, right? Because no one else like Speedway says there's a competition, but like everyone wants to do a Radiotron, right? Everyone saw like Freestyle versus Renegades, right? Which is like freestyles are like more from your area, right? Like that, like those guys, right?
Yeah, so, Manny Styles, Fresno,
that area. Yeah. So for you guys to like do to do Radiotron was kind of a big deal because then, even though the Summit tapes were like, it was more of a cipher and there's music dubbed over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you don't get the real like versus when you guys battled Renegades, at freaking Radiotron, like, yo, now we see like all
What
these
happened.
different things. Yeah, you saw the
In the
routines.
summit tape, they chopped it up and edited it to look how they wanted it to look. You know, what I mean?
But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was dope music mix, but you don't get the full effect. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
You just
Hmm.
get like, okay, those are dope moves, but it's not like the Radiotron battles. Like, yo, this is you see everything. You see like you know, like I said, the routines. You see like the floor being messed up. You see
Yep.
like you see it getting heated. You see everything. You know what I mean. And like I said, that was the tape that I feel like kind of like that was because Caesar was distributing them over in freaking whatever behind the post office and all these different type stores, skate shops.
Yeah.
And this is now we're talking about distribution. Like this is like distribution of, not just like a dub tape, but like, yo, it's going to Japan. It's going to, what I mean? And that's when you guys start to really, really make some noise. And then here I'm gonna show some footage of that period. And the other thing is, what so from that, you guys do Radiotron. What led to Battle of the Year 97?
Radiotron.
Was really? That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a year
Thomas
after.
Thomas saw that battle and he invited us to represent for the U.S. Yeah, and also Poe was like Poe was a friend of Thomas also, so that had something to do with it as well.
Right.
But like you said, that video just circulated everywhere, and everybody saw who we were, and they wanted to see more. So
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously that Battle of the Year 97 is the thing that kind of like set everything off, right? Like that's the thing that made like like in Northern California, we knew what was up, right? Like we already know, what I mean? It was kind of like, okay, it's because like we were battling you guys at that point. Like, we were battling you guys, you know what I mean? So we knew what to expect. But then like this is the first time the world, because they were used to Europe anyway, was used to like Battle Squad and and they're used to Enemy Squad.
second to none, enemy squad. Yeah,
Yeah, they're used to that, kind of traditional breaking, you know what I'm saying? Like, fast power, you know what I mean? Like multiple halos, like not even like Flare 90 Flare wasn't a thing. I feel like that was like a more Northern California thing, like Flare 90 Flare, you know what I'm
hmm
saying? But like, everyone in Europe was like footwork and then like fast windmills, munch mills, halos, all this type of stuff. And you guys brought something different. How was that like doing that for that 97 Battle of the Year?
Oh, that was game changing, man. I mean, it's sometimes it's hard to talk about stuff like that because people talk about ego and all this shit, like, right?
Mhm.
But we're just telling the stories, right?
Mhm.
Like, we're really just spitting facts in timelines and what
Mhm.
happened in breaking. And that day really changed the face of breaking that
I
night.
agree. Yeah, I
You know,
agree.
that can
Yeah.
sound cocky, that can sound whatever, but it's the truth. Because
Yeah.
if you look at breaking before that night and you look after,
Hmm.
it's night and day, bro. Like
Hmm.
everybody started, taking our stuff, flipping it,
Hmm.
just straight up biting it,
Hmm.
and it opened new doors to
Yeah.
this future foundation that we know today in breaking.
Yeah.
And that all stems from those jams in the 209, right?
Right.
That
Right. Right.
mental, that all that we were doing, all the stuff we were trying, combining together, all those years of development. And then when we got to that big stage, it was just like an explosion, man. Like nobody could touch us, right?
Right.
Um, so game changing, game
Yeah.
changing.
No, I agree. I mean, like everyone, at that point, yeah. Like if I go to a timeline of like Northern California breaking, right? Like from the 91. Like it was like Knuckleneck Tribe, Jughead Tribe. Then it became like Rock Force. Then it became Renegades. Then it became like Floor Rockers. You guys, you know what I'm saying? And because you guys were on top, it forced everyone else to adapt to like,
Yeah.
okay, what are they doing? Like we have to catch up. Because I remember when we went the next year, they're like, "Oh, you guys are like silent." It's like, no, you don't understand. Like we battle those guys all the time. We have to. This is something we have to do. Like I mean, we
God,
have to adapt,
yeah, got
right?
it. Yeah.
Like Gerald had to adapt. Like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like, like I remember like, and this is a story, like I remember when Polsky's garage, we seen you do the hand hops, right? The circle hand
Mhm.
hops.
Yeah,
And then I remember we were watching tapes of Flowmaster, and he would do the scissors.
this
And
is a
we're in the
kick.
garage, and then Gerald was just doing a scissor switch, and then all of a sudden he just like, wait a second, I think I can do it with one hand. So when that happened, it was like, oh shit, there's
Yeah.
answer the crumbs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Variation, the
yeah,
first variation, you know.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, when he did that against me, I was like, why the fuck didn't I think of that, dude? Like, God damn it. You know, it's such an easy, like not easy. It's not
Right,
easy
right, right.
to think about just scissor because we all did the scissor kicks with two
Yeah,
legs,
exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah.
but I just never thought of doing it on one hand. I would always just
In
pump,
the circle, yeah, in the
you
pump.
know.
Yeah, that's
But I mean,
crazy.
look at it today. Like
Right, yeah.
everybody grabbing the foot, threading while hopping, fucking doing whatever they want.
I mean, yeah,
But you know, it all the source is like
right.
it's really Oracle, but
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah. Oh, right.
changed
Word,
it.
word, word. Yeah, he used to do it in a circle, right? He used to like pump with
Yeah,
both hands in a circle.
the outside 90s, the reverse,
Yeah, yeah.
that's how he would hop, the reverse, and it was a reverse circle, and he did like
Right,
four or
right.
five hops, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
made it stationary in
Right,
place, inward, to do
right,
as many hops as I want and transition into 90s or whatever
right,
power I want, you know?
right. Yeah, that's crazy. It's funny because like this is like I said, this is like this is stuff that like is taken for granted because it's like today that's the norm, right? Back then, like you said, it was like what I mean. It was like kind of you guys kind of like paved that way of just thinking like I think like someone like it's funny because like even Bag of Tricks kind of had the same type of philosophy of mixing styles, but they
Yeah.
weren't thinking upside down. They're thinking more like, what can we do with these threads, right? Like what can we do on the floor? You know what I'm saying? Versus like you guys were like thinking kind of like shoulder and head and
You
other
know,
shoulder and stuff like that.
I'm glad you brought them up because they were an inspiration too. Like we
Right,
saw videos of them also. We were already doing our thing,
right,
already
right, right,
our chemicals and stuff.
right,
But seeing a crew from Canada, like that's the crew to me.
yeah,
Gizmo is the man. You know what I
right,
mean? Yeah,
right, right,
like 96,
yeah.
he was ahead of his time, dude. Like,
Bro, he showed me footage of '89 doing shit
yeah,
like that. I was
yeah,
like, '89? What
you
the
know,
fuck? Like, where were you doing on that shit, bro? Like, you know what I'm
that's
saying?
my dude right there. And
Yeah.
it wasn't like I wanted to take any of his stuff. No, I
Right,
never
right,
took any of
right,
his
right,
stuff. It was just seeing the high levels, right? Just like
right.
Storm or back in the day,
Oh yeah.
like
Oh yeah. Oh
oh, so
yeah.
that's the levels you can get to. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
provided fire and inspiration to
Right,
just
right. Yeah. I
step it
mean,
up.
yeah, I want to shout out to everyone else too that kind of mix styles. Like, there's crews like Step Fiends, like they were
Mhm.
from New York. They were kind of like mixing the styles and stuff like that. But I think you guys were the ones that made it famous, right? Like, you kind of like, you know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, like I said, it was a housing thing. But then, like, I remember I talked to Remind because, like, there was a time when he looked like a b boy, right? Like
Mhm.
'97, about a year, he was dressing in like the Spiridon, Nike Spiridons, or like Then he started going back to like kind of like the more baggier pants, earth tone colors, dreads, and stuff like that. And I remember I asked him like, "Why did you stop dressing like a b-boy? Why'd you start?" He's like, "Oh, I'm trying to be a houser." I was like, "Oh, okay, I get it." Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're
Yeah.
from that generation, you kind of like, "Oh, I get it." You're like, that's the thing. You're like a advanced version of what we did in '91. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Like a knuckle neck tribe, but advanced version. You know what I'm saying? I think
Right.
that's dope. You know what I mean?
And
And now it's like a thing. You know what I mean?
and it's all phases we go through, right? Every year
Mm-hmm.
was like growing, trying different things, evolving, and then you get to a point where you find yourself better and you find your pocket, so to speak.
Right. Right.
Find out
Yeah.
what fits best with you and disregard what doesn't.
Right.
So we've been through so many phases.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm still going through phases, bro.
Yeah.
Still in my brains.
You know.
So okay, now we're getting like now that we talked about kind of like the influence, let's talk about today. Like let's talk about today. What's your thing? I mean the biggest thing, and this is the first on Instagram I've talked about, but on YouTube I haven't. We are what 2 weeks out of the Olympics, right? Like,
Sir.
things have happened.
Hmm.
What's going through your head? Because I haven't talked to anyone like from that our generation yet. I've talked to all the young guys, right? But not no one. I haven't really talked to anyone in from our generation. What's your thoughts, bro?
Oh man, I mean, anything in specific or just in general? Because there's so many different
I let's go.
avenues.
Let's go with like off the head. Like just I'm gonna let you lead this.
Yeah. Overall, what happened is what I expected.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
because I didn't expect anything different from what's already been going on. Like
Hmm.
at the OQSs, at the preliminary, all this
Hmm.
stuff that's been going on for 2 years.
Right.
The same format, same thing, maybe
Hmm.
just more seats, right?
Right. Okay.
And it's got the Olympic name and banner to
Right.
it. But
Right.
and the good thing is that we got our music.
Yeah.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
that was, to me, that was the best
Huge.
part.
Yeah.
That was super
So,
huge.
and I
Shout out
think
to UMG, Universal.
Mhm. Right. I think that was like a last minute decision too. So
Mhm.
I was like worried about that because at all the previous events we had to do cleared music and
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not good beats, they're good beats, but they're kind of the same, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? The same
Yeah.
tempo, no
Yeah.
lyrics,
Yeah.
and it's missing our soul,
I
like
call it the new electro. To me,
yeah.
it's the new electro. It's like 2024 electro, right?
But don't get me wrong, I practice to the shit. I
Mm.
like it, but
Hmm.
there's nothing like we need a balance,
Right.
right? Play
Yeah.
one of those tracks, play
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
like,
yo, I'm all for that. And you
yeah,
DJ too. I remember you
yeah,
spun at one of the Style Elements events,
yeah,
and I was judging. I look back, it's like, yo, you're fucking killing it, bro. Like I told you, I was like, yo, you're killing it, man. Like
yeah.
this is
People
what I'm
don't know.
talking about.
Thank you,
You know what
bro.
I mean?
I've been DJing as long as I've been breaking.
Right.
So,
Right.
but the breaking took off so much that people don't even know.
Right.
I spun at like a lot of the events in the '90s and stuff like that, and a lot of mixtapes. I
Hmm.
started in '95 doing mixes on my 8-track. Just killing it, different tracks and just blending up crazy blends, and they're all on my SoundCloud page. People can go check that out. SoundCloud.com/bboycrumbs. So yeah, I've been doing that, man, and just like my breaking, I give a different flavor, and if you look at back at all our Style Elements videos, I did all the production. Remind helped too, but I
Hmm.
did most of the editing and I did all the music. Right, I
Hmm.
DJ'd all the beats and chose a lot of the beats, and Remind picked some tracks too. Um, all that music that I put on those videos, they weren't really playing a lot of that shit at hip
No. No.
at
No.
breaking jams
No. Oh no. No.
until people
No.
got a hold of our videos, and now they become part.
That's another thing that you guys kind of innovated was the solo. Well, I not you didn't innovate it, but Mr. Wiggles was doing it. Kenny was doing it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like they were all doing the bootleg Betty joints and
Yeah, they were
but
first. Yeah.
yeah, but you guys made it a thing. You know what I mean? Because you guys were younger, right? Like, of course, we're
Mhm.
gonna respect the OGs. They're coming out with B-Boy Summit tapes, but this was more like this is a hip hop tape, but this is breaking though. And obviously, the song that you guys made famous was the Freestyle Fellowship Hot Potato Joint. Like
Yes, sir.
now everyone plays that shit.
I mean,
You
all
know what I
free
mean?
fellowship way cool. I mean, organized
Yeah,
confusion,
or yeah,
gold rush, like
yeah,
Earthlizer, all this stuff that nobody was even playing. Like
yeah.
all kinds of tracks. But you have to dig to figure that out.
Right.
Like,
Well, that's the main difference is like, you guys, we were all hip hop heads. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Like straight up, like not just B-boys, like we liked hip hop, right?
yep.
So it was about like and that was just like a hip hop. If you could find a track, like it's funny because like for me, what I want to hear at a breaking event is like I want to hear that freaking Helter Skelter. I don't hear that, but you know what I mean? Something like that. Like that song's fire to me, but
Oh
the
yeah.
kids won't know it because they're not that song came out 25 years ago and A, B, and C, right?
And not only do they not know it, a lot of them don't know how to break to it because
Right.
it's not never being played. They don't know different tempos, and I'm not dissing anything. I'm
Right.
not dissing. I'm just showing a little bit of the differences, right? Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
always like a high, fast pace, never
Mm.
like really a wave, right?
Right.
Like we had in the '90s, and if we played more mid-tempo music, then they can understand how to do this. You know what I mean, and how to relax a little bit more, be more in the
Yeah,
pocket instead of
yeah.
redlining the whole time, right?
Right. Is that what you feel? Is that how you feel about a lot of the guys?
Personally,
Right,
I feel
right.
like I want to see you get there, but I don't want to see you stay there the whole time. That should be
Mm,
pitch, right?
mm.
Like that's like a singer going to the highest pitch but never leaving there.
Right,
You
right,
know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Like,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
you gotta let it flow, man. It's incredible. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong, it's
Mhm.
incredible, but
Mhm.
yeah, we gotta get that wave back, and it's
Yeah, I mean that's the hardest part because most promoters want to live stream their event, and if you play anything that's copyrighted music, it's like they
I know.
cut you off. So that's why again, Olympics was so special because like, oh shit, they're playing Eric B and Rakim. No way.
Mhm.
And it's just funny because like some of the dancers like, oh, how do you
Yeah.
dance this? You know what I'm saying?
It's catch 22 double-edged sword, right? Like
Uh,
these rules and regulations of the internet and clearances and copyright issues have shaped our breaking our future,
100.
you know. And that's like, I mean,
100.
shit, you know, what can you do, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's
hopefully this stuff can get fixed in the near future,
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
it's it's hard because that's the thing that exposes everyone to it is the YouTube and the Instagram and the TikToks.
Hmm.
But it's like the radio, right? Like it's like top 40, right? There's top 40 moves, there's top 40 music.
There
You
you
know what I'm
go.
saying? And within breaking, let alone like hip hop. Like within
Hmm.
breaking, it's like, and that's how it goes, right? Like, at one point, invert hollowbacks were in, then it became air chair, then it became tap mills, then it became, you know what I mean? Like there's just this thing that's gonna like
It's still tap mills. It's still going. The trends, man. That's the thing. The trends will always be there, and it's the same with the DJs. It's the same with the
right, right.
the trend of that style of music. That's what's going on right now, and that's why people are breaking the way they break right now. It all starts with the DJ,
Yeah,
these kids are practicing to those beats because they know they're gonna get those beats in the
yeah,
competition, right? So
yeah.
it is what it is, right?
Right. And it's even
Like,
crazier for the younger ones, not even the kids that are like 21, 20. We're talking about the 12-year-olds are like, it's just,
mhm.
this is their existence is the competition and just the competition style and who's the hottest doing what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus like creating something like that's different, right? I don't want to even say original. There's something different, you know what I mean? It's hard because, and you're right, the music does, like we had so much variety in music. That's why
So
we could open up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what I
oh my
mean?
god, night and day, bro. Like, yeah, we
Yeah.
had everything, the melting pot, bro. Like,
Yeah.
but one thing I just want to tell, like, maybe the newer generations out there, breakers, the trends is always gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
and it's okay to learn the new trends and moves and stuff like that, but don't get fixated on it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like that shit comes and goes. So when it goes, if you're stuck on that, then you're gonna be played out.
Right. Right. Yeah.
What we
That's
did,
true.
like, whenever there was a trend style elements, we went left. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Right. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
gonna do something completely different. Y'all handle that, but when you come see us, you're gonna see something that's totally different than what everybody else is doing, and that gave us longevity.
Yeah. Yeah. Real quick before we continue, gotta give a shout out to AER B Boy B Girl Podcast. Gave us a super sticker. He said 100 underlined twice. I don't know which time what any of us said, but thank you for that. um, yeah, man. So okay, so talking about the past a little bit and like just like and the present. Um, let's talk about this now. Like, let's talk about like what's happened to you recently. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, so first of all, how did you get your shoulder injury? So how did that? Because it didn't happen overnight, right? Or it
No,
did?
no,
Did
wear and tear.
wear and tear?
Wear and
Okay.
tear. But I did have shoulder surgery in 2018. I fucked it up in Colombia, ciphering on uneven concrete.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, it was crazy. I remember clearly. Grandmaster Flash was DJing, bro. I was
And
going off, and maybe I had a little bit too much to drink, smoke.
oh shoot. On top of that.
I
Okay.
did 20 rounds, and my body was like, "Yo, chill, kid." But I was like, "No," and so I didn't listen. It's one of
Mm,
those stupid things.
hmm.
I remember I had one of the fucking best rounds of my life, and then I had one of the worst ones. Because that's when I snapped my fucking clavicle
Whew,
bone in half.
yikes.
Yeah, so
Whoa, in half?
in half. Yeah, I broke, just
What
snapped.
the hell?
Yeah.
Damn.
And so, I flew back and had surgery pretty much like a couple days later. And but even before that, just 31 years of stacking, breaking.
Hmm.
Breaking is heavy on the shoulders. You're always
Hmm.
lifting the body up, and the cartilage that holds the ball and socket joint together around the labrum, that's like I only have a little bit left. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you
Yeah.
MRIs, it's like pretty much bone on bone, right? But
Yikes.
I mean, if you like compare like how long we've been doing this shit, like it's just comes with the territory, you
Mm.
know. Like the fact that I've only had one surgery my whole career,
That's actually very good.
that's fucking crazy, you know. So
Yeah.
my body's very resilient, but the wear and tear, it's like the best way I could describe it is like tires on a car. When that shit's
Mhm.
bald, you know, you don't got no traction, you know.
Yeah.
So, my neck, from all my neck joints, head flip. I've been flipping on my head forever, dude.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, all of it, all the back of the head invert styles that I innovated, all the stacking from my shoulders, power moves. It's all worn down. So nothing like torn or ripped or anything like that.
Okay.
It's just like just the ligaments are worn out, you know.
Right.
So I've been studying stem cells for a couple years now,
Mhm.
and I've been talking to a lot of people that have been doing it. And
Okay.
so I really wanted to try that because you know, going through surgery and stuff like that to fix torn muscles or try to regrow tissue or ligaments or anything, any kind of surgery is
Hmm.
not the best bet. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Because
Right.
you're never really the same afterwards. Like even with me with my shoulder surgery, like I built up so much scar tissue just from having
Right.
surgery. You know,
Right.
how the bone like pops
Right.
up and shit.
Yeah.
It's just it's never gonna be the same like how
Hmm.
it was,
Hmm.
right? So when if you tear something or get injured, like you go get stem cells done and you don't have to get surgery. That shit will heal up in half the time or less, and you'll be back like 100%,
Wow.
you know? And so no scar tissue, none of that,
Yeah.
right?
Here's it here. Yeah, I'm just showing a clip of you
I
in
just had it done a couple days ago, man,
that's
on
crazy.
Wednesday, last Wednesday. So that was me in the hospital, just explaining like why I did it and you know everything that I'm going through. I can't break for like 3 months because I got to let the stem cells do their work and regenerate the tissue. And if people don't know what it is, the stem cells come from a baby's umbilical cord. You know what
Right.
I mean? So it's fresh life stem cells, like brand new. So when they inject these areas, for me, my shoulders and neck,
Mm.
of where the ligaments are almost gone, they inject it right exactly where it needs to be, and that helps it regenerate and grow new tissue. But it takes
Crazy.
time, so
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
takes 3 months. But even after that, it's still like a baby, right? You got to
Right.
think
Right.
baby, so you got to come back slow and get it strong, and then
Yeah.
boom. So my main thing was mobility because my shoulder
Mm.
mobility is like fucking trash now,
Right. 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 Right.
so bad. So I'm just trying to get at least 40-50% of that back
Right.
and bring back so much that I haven't been able to do for the past 8
Right.
years, you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, I'm big about that, obviously, because like, I turned 49 this year, and I'm
Hmm.
still out here, and like relearning, because like there's some stuff that like I never used to stretch. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like I never used to work out. Like now I'm like, nope, I'm working out more just to maintain and
Yeah.
even like try to redevelop certain things. What's some of the advice who you would say like you would tell your younger self so that way this to get more preventative type things, right? Because it's gonna wear down, eventually. But what are the things that you felt like, man, if only if I would have done this, I would have kind of like, this process would have been way later in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this stem cell thing is pretty new. So we didn't
Mhm.
even have this, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Technology, which
Yeah.
is awesome. So these kids now, they got it
They have
made.
access to it, right?
They can start right now.
Holy
Like,
crap.
you know what I mean? Like do it once every 2 years and always regenerate your tissue, make sure everything's good. It's like maintenance, like an oil change, you know?
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
not just like, oh, I'm injured, I gotta get stem cells. Yes, you do that too, and it's gonna heal it, but
Right.
for maintenance, like making
Right.
sure everything's good, right? And you know, some people they get like stem cells through IV
Hmm.
once every 6 months, and they train like a beast, like a lot of CrossFitters, MMA guys. They train like for 6 months without even really getting sore or inflammation or anything like that.
Really? Damn,
That's
no
the
inflammation.
power of fucking stem cells, right?
Wow.
It's like it's legit. And you know, it's not the cheapest thing in the world, you
Yeah.
know.
So okay, that's what I'm saying. That was my next question. So let's say you can't afford it right now, right? Like what are some of the preventative things you felt like you could have done? You know what I mean? Because I mean, to push stem cells, if you could afford it, that's dope, right? But and then you went to Mexico too. It's like because I'm sure in America it's like fucked up ass prices, right? Like or whatever. Or it's not even available.
No, it's not even available in America.
Word. It's
Like
just in Mexico. Yeah.
The FDA won't approve it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
But
Right.
that shit gets approved, and guess what? No more
Right.
surgeries, no more
Right. Oh.
like it affects all of that,
Oh
right?
shit. Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
you go outside the country because they don't
Right.
want you knowing about this stuff. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
But I went to one of the best places in Tijuana, state of the art. They actually sponsored the UFC. It's
Oh
CPI,
really?
Cellular
Okay.
Performance Institute. Yeah, all the best fighters, they all go there and get stem cells done all the time. And so, like I said, I did my homework. You know,
Right.
I'm
Right.
not
Right.
going to go and get it done legit. But yeah, in America, they they only approved like a little tiny amount, right? That's
Mm.
really not going to do much for you at all. But over in Tijuana, where I went, I got shot up with 200 million stem cells. You know what
Holy
I'm
crap.
saying? Yeah, like crazy. So that is what you really need, like just an overload of them, and they do the work, right? So, you know, I think it's surgery costs what? If you don't have insurance, it's going to cost
Mm.
20, 30,000.
Mm.
It's like the same, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you're getting you're not going to have those issues in the past. Like sometimes when you get a surgery, you may need to get another surgery in the same place a couple years later. You know, it
True.
may be an
Yeah.
ongoing thing, or like we
Yeah.
talked about before, like scar tissue, all these issues that are going to keep coming back,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because they're cutting you open and scar everything, right? It's
Yeah.
just not good. So I mean, listen, we spend so much money on material things that
I
drop in
mean,
value the second you buy it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
invest in my body and give back to my body than buy a new car or even a new house. And that may sound crazy to people, but for
Mm-hmm.
me, my vessel, my body is my house, it's my car. Shit, I consider my body to be like a 90s Ferrari. Like it's a classic, right? It needs proper maintenance, health as well. So I'm willing to invest in my body, especially at 44, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and moving forward. This is what I got to do to continue to do what I love to do without being without breaking with pain and not having the flexibility that I need to do the things that I want to do. So
Right.
it makes sense for me, and I think in time a lot of people in the breaking world are going to start finding out about this and using it to their advantage.
Crazy. Yeah.
Mm.
So, what's some of the stuff? Again, let's go back to what if you can't afford it? What's some of the stuff that you would to kind of like you know to kind of minimize injuries and long term type of stuff? Like, is there any workouts? Is there or any types of things that you're just like, man, I wish I didn't do that, or wish I did do that? Like, any advice for everyone out there? Because you know, what I mean, like, we are the elders, so it's
Yeah,
good to hear this now.
yeah, definitely. For me, it's like warming up, obviously, before you compete and all that stuff, or even Cypher. You know,
Mm.
we've been taught that, like, yo, is he fucking warming up? Like, what the fuck?
Bro, 100,
You know,
100,
so,
dude,
you know, we got to kill that. We got to kill
kill
that.
it,
First of
kill
all,
it.
yeah,
Kill
that's,
that
that's,
shit. That
that's,
shit's over.
uh,
I'll bring a jump rope to a gym. I don't give a fuck. Like, and
you
I
know,
just a cipher. Like, fuck
yeah,
that. I don't want to like, oh, that guy's stretching. That's corny. Like, well, motherfucker,
yeah,
I'm out here. Like, I ain't trying to get hurt for one
longevity,
thing. Yeah,
longevity. Yeah,
yeah.
so warming up, you know, doing your thing, and if you're doing like long competitions, you got to eat in between battles, even if it's
Mm-hmm.
small amounts. You're eating the right things,
Mm-hmm.
getting that fuel, getting hydrated, drinking a lot of
Mm-hmm.
water. Um, and then after you're done, get a good, nice long stretch, man. Make sure you're good, and that's how to do it. And it's tedious, but
Yep.
it's got to be done if you're looking for longevity. And also
100.
adding things like the TRX bands, you know, stretching out those ligaments and
Mm.
doing the extra stuff. Like a lot of people, for us, I feel like lifting weights really isn't a big deal. You know,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
we lift our body weight, we have that
Yep.
flexible functional muscle,
Yep.
and we throw ourselves around. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Right.
Like the bar. And I'm not dissing like weightlifting is dope. I do it sometimes because
Mhm.
aesthetically you want to look like, you know,
Mhm.
chiseled or whatever, you want to look a certain way. That's what it's good for. But
Right.
at the end of the day, it's a stiff bar
Yeah.
with weights, you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
you can
Yeah.
turn your body any way you want, but you can't bend those weights. And like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so TRX band work, look into that, and just make sure you're hitting all the ranges of motions, 360, just like you do in breaking, from your legs to your core to your arms to your neck, everything. And it takes time, but the more you do that, the more flexible you're going to be, and the more strength you're going to have in areas that you never even knew that you could have strength in, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely going to make your breaking look better too.
Yeah. Oh, 100, 100. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what I'm saying. Like, again, man, I wish I would have stretched back then because I lost a lot of stuff from the 2000s just by doing footwork and sitting on my, my my calves are like, not my calves, my quads are like this tight, and I didn't realize how tight they were from all the footwork, and I
Yeah.
had bridges. Now I'm slowly getting it back, but at this point, I do work out way more than I break, like straight up, and that's just to open shit up. That's just to like you said,
Well, we're at that age, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
We can't, like, if we break 8 hours a day like we used to, we're
Fuck
gonna tear our body down, dude. You know.
that.
And no, we gotta figure out.
Max 45 minutes,
Yeah,
max.
yeah, yeah. I go like an hour and a half, but I go hard and then I shut it down. Like,
Yeah, exactly. You slowly kind of,
yeah,
and then you do your then you do your statics, and that's the thing that, like, I think, yeah, man, all the old school guys, like, you gotta be raw. Like, no, 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 we're not listening to you guys no more. You guys could barely
no,
sit
this
up, bro.
2024, bro. This 2024. You know, and another thing is, like, you know, cold plunges, red light.
Mm,
There's a
yes,
there's a lot of good shit out there, man. Just
yes,
go on YouTube, you know, figure shit out. That's what I did. And then,
right,
not, don't take my word for it, try it. You
yeah,
know, see if it
yeah,
works for you. Some
yeah,
may work, some may not. You're
yeah,
gonna see results in certain things.
yeah. 100, man. I'm cold shower every day for me. Wim
Yeah.
Hof breathing, like, you name it, I'm doing it. Like, I have this, like, my girl got me this is a cupping thing, electronic cupping thing. I use this shit
Yeah.
just because, like, I'm
That's,
so freaking tight. Even
mhm.
like the gun doesn't work out for me because my muscles are just like, "Ugh," so I have to open it up somehow. You know what I mean? And get that, let the hydration come into my body.
Yeah, the blood's
Yeah,
got to flow, and if it's stuck,
yeah,
it's stuck.
yep.
See, what's been happening with my shoulders from the
Mm,
surgery and the scar tissue, it's
right. Yeah.
been
Yep.
flowing. So
Yeah.
even if the tissue wants to regrow a little bit,
Yeah.
yeah, because it got no fuel, it got no
Yeah.
food,
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
know. So yeah,
Exactly.
so we just got
Exactly,
to
man.
learn all this. We have to become like kind of like our own scientists, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Figure
yeah,
out our
yeah. We have to Frankenstein ourselves, right? Instead of like, hey, man, it's raw. If you just go in and maybe like, no, that's done. You
hmm
guys, like, we're starting to see like someone like Skillroy who's like fit and at
Yeah,
56 could gainer, and because he stays fit,
that's
he
awesome.
he like, what I mean, he doesn't just, I'm gonna break and it's wrong. No, he does the right things to, like, it's not just breaking, right? Because that could be static too, right? Hitting the same thing all the time, you're static. You need to
Mhm.
open up in certain ways and really concentrate. I got all types of stuff, but obviously, like, I think we are pushing the levels of it now. Now that we have like the 40 and up, like Hong Ten just turned 40, like
Yep.
Morris just turned 40, like, and a bunch of other people. I'm sure they don't want me to say that they're 40, but they're 40, bro. Like, like, trust me, they're over 40,
There's
and
nothing
it's
wrong
like,
with it. It's all good.
exactly. I wear my sleeve, so I'm more like, this is proof if you were to take care of yourself. And I'm even pushing that more than anything else. It's like, yo, take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that way you can, you know, like, it's fun to like, I compete for fun, man. Like, it's not really about winning. It's just like, man, everyone said that we were done at 21.
Mm,
Like, when I was coming up, like, oh, at 21, that's old. Like,
yeah,
now it's like, no, we can actually, like, enjoy ourselves to who knows if we take care of ourselves, right?
yeah.
And if we do stem cell, like, you know what I mean? Like,
hmm Who
we don't
knows?
know the shelf life, bro.
We're pushing the boundaries.
100. This
You know,
generation right now is pushing the boundaries.
boundaries, and it's going to be an interesting test, and just to see, you know, how far we can take it and what we can do and what we're going to look like in our 50s.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I honestly think it's possible to get better.
100. I'm
I'm
with you,
crazy,
bro.
but I
I'm,
think
bro.
I can get better, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so
I mean,
but
as
time,
long as we're not getting punched in the face, that's the thing that fucks you up.
we
It's the
don't have
punch
to
in the
do.
face. It's not the
Yeah.
working out part, like
Mhm.
in that. But then if you train like those guys, bro, and I'll
Mhm.
get punched in the face, like who know, you know what I mean? We don't know, and we take care of ourselves. You know what I'm
As
saying? We
long
don't
as
know.
that's the number one thing. As long as we take care of ourselves, breaking is adapting so fucking fast, and as long as we're in tune with the evolution, I mean, we're not going to be able to like throw ourselves and do one arm fucking,
Right, 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 right,
we don't need to do that.
right,
That's
right.
we got the style, flavor, creativity, and mix with the evolution, like
Hmm.
learn some of the new shit that's going on too, and mix it in with what we're doing. We can take it as far as we want.
Yeah. Hell
Yeah, man.
yeah, man. I think we're gonna end it on that, man. I think this dude, I mean, I think this last part is like the thing that, we need to like that needed to be documented because like I said, a lot of like our elders are kind of like, they had certain lifestyles that necessarily not conducive for breaking, right? We're
Hmm.
creating a new like foundation of like, okay, what a artist athlete looks like and what they have to do to take care of themselves. So that way we can represent and enjoy and still teach and still compete or whatever, whatnot. You know what I mean? So I think that's, I think that's like what we just talked about is very important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, crucial, man, crucial. And before we take off or whatever, I just want to plug my school, Six Step
Yeah,
Academy.
yeah,
Yeah, I have
yeah.
a school now out here in Atlanta, and it's doing really well, growing. And I'm planning on franchising across the U.S. That's the goal. And I have sixstepacademy.com is the website, and I have like online courses and stuff like that. A lot more stuff coming, gear, breaking gear, all that stuff. So go check that out. And then also Style Elements. It's our 30th year anniversary.
Right.
Yeah, 30 years of innovation, and our jam is going to be November 23rd in San Jose, California. It's a week after freestyle session, so everybody's
Mm.
coming down for freestyle session. Plan on staying one more week because we got the Style Elements 30th anniversary going down, and we always do our 3 versus 3, last one standing
That
competition.
is actually always a fun
It's
event, bro.
legit. It's legit. Nothing like it, bro. First place, $3,900. Second place, $1,500. Along with that, we always have the Super Dave Power Move competition for $500, judged by Super Dave. And then this year, for the first time ever, I'm doing a Stack King competition, judged by
Okay.
myself and sponsored by Six Steps. So we're adding that this year. A lot of fun stuff, man. And then we got the Who's on Fire popping competition, 1v1 from Tommy Boy Fire. It's a lot of dope shit going on. And of course, Cyphers all night. You know the vibe. If you ever been to a SEC anniversary, it's house, it's hip hop, it's breaks, it's everything, right? So there's a little bit of something for everybody. So come join us. If you need more information, stay tuned on @StyleElementsCrew on Instagram. We got the teaser flyer out now, but we're going to be dropping a lot more info in the near future. So just stay tuned, man. It's gonna be
There we
on.
go, man. Yo, thank you so much. And where can they find you on your social media?
Yes.
Right there.
At B-Boy Crumbs on Instagram, and then really, really subscribe to my YouTube.
Yeah, might as well.
YouTube.com/B-Boy Crumbs. And let me just say something, like I think I have like 430 videos,
Mhm.
right? So it's like my career video vault. I'm
Mm,
always uploading new, I have endless footage, right? So like
right.
I'm always putting more up, putting more up. So from when I started till today, it's got footage of me the whole time, and free tutorials. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff, man. You could go down the rabbit hole and really like get a lot of knowledge and just learn a lot about style elements, about myself, about history and breaking. And the important thing is like there's these outside organizations, right? And I'm not dissing any of them. They're all
Mhm.
necessary, right? They all bring value to our art, to our dance, right? But I think people get so stuck on that, right? That those organizations, that they forget about the grassroots. They
Mhm.
forget about the source, about the real practitioners that are still here. We all have content. We all have a different storyline than that they're telling, right? So these organizations, like I said, they're great, but they're telling the storyline that they want to tell. And a lot of times they leave some really important factors out, you know, and you can find out about those factors on our pages, on our content and all of that. So support the grassroots. It's really easy. Look for your favorite breakers,
Yeah, super easy.
and keep up with the content. It's all there.
Right.
Come
There you
on, man.
go, man. There you go. And before we sign out, you can find me on Instagram at PROFO_FLGZ. This has been The Trades with
Yeah,
D-Boy Crumbs.
appreciate you, Profo. Thanks
Yes,
for having me.
sir.
Great.
Peace. And see you guys later, man. All right.
Deuces.
And